in another attempt to stall and never finish Omniverse Season 8, let's check out the ink tank, not the videos you guys are begging for. I hear you. Like, every time someone begs to watch, like, Ben 10, you know, like, what was it called? I forget exactly what the video is. It might be their most viewed video, actually. A lot of people have been begging and begging, saying, please, react to this, react to this. Every time someone begs, again, I add another week delay onto it. We're gonna watch these two first. Where is this? Latest? These two news. First, Ben 10 Dynamite comic, and then the designs that got released pretty recently. I think yesterday. I think some new updates were coming out, and Absolute Ben 10, it looks fucking horrifying. And that's what the whole point is, right? To be super, like, I wouldn't say realistic, because this isn't real people or aliens, right? But like, the details, the edginess, the darkness, it's definitely not for children. Look at Cannonball. This is a fucking nightmare. I love it.
I swear. For me, I've never seen such a wide gap between the increase of a fandom and the distance it has from its source material. We're here in the grand year of 2026, and it seems like the Ben 10 community has never been bigger. We have so many new creators making videos all the time, fan art, AUs, anything you can think of.
Whoa, the fan art. This is just Rudius from Mushoku Tensei. I don't know how to feel about goatee Ben 10 here. I feel like because he has a child's body, the goatee, the mustache stuff, like, it, don't get me wrong, I feel like design would go hard, but he just needs to, like, be bigger than, like, looking like a fucking middle school boy.
Anything you can think of. Like, it's astonishing. 12 years after the Prime series ended, now coming up on like 5 years since the reboot ended, that it actually seems like we have more fans and more people talking about it online than ever before. But today we
Yeah, the very interesting thing with the cartoon stuff, right, especially with reaction content on YouTube, is how nostalgia is one hell of a drug. People grew up watching these shows, and when they were kids, didn't really understand what the hell is really going on. Some might have, right? But as you grow up, you get sweaty about it, and then you see other people making content, in-depth analysis, and you're like, damn, like, this show was like this? And then you get to relive the glory days of your childhood past, and see someone, you know, sweaty, just be fucking analyzing it, and it's a really cool experience, and that was the same captivating feeling for Beyblade Metal Saga reactions too.
We finally have an actual look at the Dynamite comic. I'm gonna link an article down below that literally dropped today, where we finally get to see some actual artwork and information about the comic. We've been speculating for a while, but now we can lay out some facts. We already know the comic was being made by Man of Action, the original creators, so of course it's in good hands. The first issue is even written by Joe.
This guy for real? This guy's sick. Like he pulled up to the photo shoot and was like, yup, take my picture. I'm wearing these glasses.
Casey. And we knew the artwork was done by Robert Carey, which, quick Google search, you can tell he's a really good artist. So nothing too worrisome so far. When Omniverse first dropped, there were some scares. Same with the reboot. But the comic...
What have they done to my boy? Apparently, in reboot, they heavily fuck up Alien X. They nerf him to the ground. And maybe that gets more usage of him because of how absolute Alien X is as a character. I really like the new way in Omniverse, how after the Galactic Gladiator episode, right? Basically, we can pilot Alien X without having to use those powers that would require delegation, right? So that's pretty cool. But at the same time, man, this design is fucking ass. How... I can't. Who is this for? Younger kids? Did the reboot even do well? What if reboot did better than Omniverse? Or even Alien Force? Or Ultimate Alien? In fact, let's ask that right now. How well did Ben 10 reboot do in comparison to Omniverse, Alien Force, and Ultimate Alien Ben 10? Let's see what AI gives us. Surely it's gonna give us something, right? Well, 2016 reboot generally underperformed in critical and older fan reception compared to Alien Force Ultimate Alien in the original series. Often cited for its simplified storytelling and comedic tone, however, it was financially successful. Popular with its new target audience, there it is, right? They're clearly going for a different, separate audience, not really, you know, working off of the existing fandom, and lasted 169 episodes. That's pretty fucking long. Far exceeding the longevity. Okay. But like, I'm talking about numbers, right? I'm talking about actual fucking numbers. Obviously, the critics are going to be complaining and shit, but who knows? If anyone knows, let me know how well it did, like, business-wise.
But the comic was a different story. Nobody ever seemed really worried about how it was going to come out. We just wanted it to come out. Although now that we're actually looking at some of the artwork, it's a bit hard to grasp where they're going with this direction. We have a few variant covers we can look at, as well as actual pages from the comic, so stick around for those. But I'm going to start with the variant covers. The first one I'm looking at is by another member of Man of Action, Duncan Rouleau. I can tell this is his art style easily. It's a bit hard to grasp how accurate these variant covers are to what the comic is going to look like. If y'all are familiar with comics and variant covers, the art style being different, sometimes even the character designs being different, is extremely common, often depicting
it's kind of like pre-animated trailers or some stuff and like anime stuff, right? So it's like it's not the official stuff. Cool to see Naruto here collab with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Is extremely common, often depicting scenes and interactions that will never even match the main story. They're just for artistic flavor. But it's still nice to see something retaining to the comic. We can see it's using the exact same logo that the 2016 reboot is using. I don't know if that's just a placeholder or not, or if this is just the official logo for Ben 10, which is fine. Although some of these designs are a bit unexpected. We're looking at Accelerate here. It's got a very thick torso, some frail arms. I'm assuming this is Cannonbolt, which
Cannonbolt looks demonic with his eyes and his teeth.
Which is odd seeing him in the original 10 lineup, but also confirms that we're not just going to be getting the standard classic series playlist for this, which was
they're great, but Cannonbolt has a special place in my heart. He's cute, he gets the job done.
Expected, but now it's confirmed. We got 4 arms, Diamond Head, Heat Blast. Heat Blast with the exposed magma. I'm actually not bothered by it. It's like the inverse of his original series design, where he had rocks covering his arms and exposed hands. Here he's got the exposed arms and rocks covering his hands.
Look at Gray Matter, bro. He looks like a fucking pair of testicles.
Like gloves. It's actually a pretty cool look. Gray Matter looks pretty freaky. I can dig that. But you can also see Wildvine here too. The 2016
Wildvine is high off the supply. He is on that Zaza.
Here too. The 2016 reboot did this as well, adding Cannonbolt and Wildvine to the original.
I'm not gonna lie. The reboot design aliens are cute, right? It's kind of like chibi-fied in anime terms. They're actually kind of nice. I like it. The Galvin form looks pretty much the same though, huh? It's just, man, they fucked up Ben's haircut. They just, like, the shorter hairstyle here, it looks really odd. And obviously with this more simplified baby face
lineup, opposed to the Prime continuity, where they were additions later after the original 10. Ben looks fine. He's got his shirt, green shorts, and I like the swirly designs, but it doesn't exactly give us a good look.
I like the OG Ben 10 design shirt, the white and black classic.
Look at what the Omnitrix looks like. Given that this cover was done by...
This Omnitrix is fucking freaky. Like, what is this? Tentacles coming out, bro. Is like Vilgax trying to get out of the Omnitrix right now? Apparently Vilgax also will not be in this comic, according to some people online. I don't know how true that is.
It's like, given that this cover was done by Duncan Rouleau, I'm assuming this...
Also, who the fuck asked for Lobster Guy? Genuinely. I'm not gonna lie. I don't give a fuck about the Ultimate Greg aliens, other than Andreas Armadillo. I think Lobster Guy is really uncompelling as an alien. Bro is literally just a fucking hydro pump. That's it. He shows up a lot. It's a new alien from Reboot? Okay. Because like I saw it here too, right? In the Reboot one, the Lobster Guy again. This is Overflow. Okay. It's the same thing as all. You just call him a different name. He just shoots fucking water out of his hand. I don't know. Like, the Ultimate Greg aliens... I only even like Armadillo, Andreas, just because of the story that he had with Kevin and Arjit and how sad of a betrayal it was. That shit went fucking hard. The story at the end about what true friends are.
Cover was done by Duncan Rouleau. I'm assuming this is the most accurate to the comic, but let's take a look at some of the other variant covers first. This one is just Ben in 4 arms. You can see the Omnitrix is kind of this tangled mess of wires and everything. It's very interesting, very alien looking, and it could just be the coloring, but he's got what looks like blue shorts instead of green, and they're rolled up. You get a nice shot of 4 arms distorted by
blue shorts. This is blue? Am I being gaslit right now? It doesn't matter.
They're rolled up. You get a nice shot of 4 arms distorted by the shadow.
4 arms looks like he's about to give back shots of doom. Look at that pose.
Shadows and lighting. What a very powerful stance. We got this cover. That's a very different art style from the first 2. And
oh yeah, the Omnitrix though, it kind of has that like the concentric lines and circles that we just saw before. It's like this, but now you can see more like metal tubules all around.
I want to say this gives us a really good look at what the Omnitrix looks like, but again, it's a variant cover, so the art style and designs could be different. In this cover, Ben has brown eyes, while in Duncan's, he has green, so that's already proof we can't actually trust this is like what the Omnitrix looks like in the comic. I think they were just really trying to do something super alien, and I feel like I can get behind it. I'm so used to the classic one where it looks like very pristine and shaped accordingly.
Yeah, it's kind of like a simple wristwatch, right? It's simple, it's nice. This new one, again, the extra tubular designs and these extra layers, this all, again, it's kind of like the whole idea of like these art styles too, right? You look at the art styles for absolute stuff, it's way more like detailed and has all these different layers and line that adds on to this Eldritch Nightmare cosmic horror vibes.
Fan art. Whereas this one, it definitely looks like it'd be difficult to try to draw over and over again in the panels. And they could just be doing random wires each shot.
Oh, that's a fucking nightmare to get this over and over again.
Not expecting you to really pay attention and be like, this wire goes here, this wire goes here. Unless they are, in which they definitely can. They had a very detailed.
I'm not gonna lie. For a channel with over 500,000 subscribers, how does this bro have a worse webcam than me? Listen, I take pride in having shitty, scuffed production value. But god damn, this is actually crazy how grainy this cam filter is. And it's another level of flex that you don't need a good camera. I think you need a good mic though. If your content is good, it's gonna get views. So many people buy like fancy ass DSLR cameras and lenses and they get no views and they just quit content creation. It's like if the substance of what you have to say is garbage, like no amount of good fucking cameras is gonna fix your content.
They definitely can. They had a very detailed model sheet. We got this look as well. And again, really hard to tell like if this is what the aliens are going to.
I love how Forums is always like the prime alien though, huh? Like he's always in the center. He always gets the spotlight. He was also the sole one in the other designs too. Very classic, iconic alien, Forearms.
To look like look at the two accelerates, completely different. Same with gray matter, but there are some elements that we can marry between each other. The fact that
Accelerate here, kind of like this design, more compact, right? Kind of looks like a mini Digimon dinosaur thing. I like this version compared to kind of this version with the torso and the lats. Overdeveloped compared to the arms. Kind of awkward.
Accelerate isn't all black, and Heat Blast has the exposed arms but rock covered hands. Stingfly's back to looking like a bug, but Cannonbolt over here looking in
nightmare. What the fuck? I think Cannonbolt is like the most horrifying design because of his eyes and the teeth.
Incredibly different than the Duncan cover. This one looks a little bit more familiar. It's got like that rounded head. Duncan's kind of had it popping off. This guy over here looks like a train. I think I'm just gonna need a better look at him. And yeah, some of these are just so detailed. I don't know how it would look like as a simplified.
This is Wildvine? Wildvine looking like a character from fucking Yu-Gi-Oh, man. What the hell is this? And Diamond Clock right there. Diamond Clock's face looks pretty much the same. There's just like more lines and details, like for his diamondness, I guess. Kind of looks like he's all cracked all over the place.
Design covers like this add more detail to it, make it look pretty interesting, but sometimes that detail makes it a bit difficult to know what the structure of the design is. And then we got this cover, which is Forearms Stinkfly Wildvine upgrade, I believe. And this watch looks closer to the classic series one, the one we're more familiar
I like this one.
Still keeps up that wire trend. So while all these varying covers are pretty nice, it doesn't exactly let us know what this is going to look like, except for the fact that we actually do have some comic pages we can look at. It looks like the text was removed to keep the storyline guessing.
Max Tennyson! Oh, damn, he got a beard, bro. He got glasses, he got a beard. Cool. Gwen's face kind of covered. We'll see later.
We got some sumo.
Yo, sumo slammers.
Slammer cards here. A look at Gwen's bag and the trio hanging out. Ben's stripe looks like it's off center. The rust bucket looks fine. It looks like the same as the original one.
They should have made the rust bucket also more scary somehow. How? Make it look like a van that says free candy out of it. How much more scary and scuffed can the rust bucket get? The stuff on the top though, damn, it looks like really fancy tech though, huh?
Except maybe it's got an extra floor or something. It's taller. Grandpa Max looks a lot scrawnier. He's got the vest that the reboot introduced.
He got the gut is gone. I wouldn't say scrawnier. Grandpa Max has been hitting the gym and been fit. Cause like he got that bit of a gut here, right? And Grandpa Max here looks like some, I don't know, Italian caricature of like a Sopranos character. Like Gabagool, like forget about it, eh? This guy, damn, the beard, the mustache, the hair, the builtness. He looks like a lumberjack, still in the game, bro.
He's got glasses, a mustache, and a beard.
He's got
I'm
aura.
actually really digging this design for Max. I'm not getting that soft, wholesome type of vibe that we're used to with Grandpa Max with this design, but maybe the dialogue will really help.
Yeah, the extra lines on his face, right? The facial hair, more serious, more, I wouldn't say darker necessarily. Honestly, if I look at these two faces, this Grandpa Max looks darker. What's with the shading on the face?
Bring that out. That off-center stripe on Ben is gonna mess with me though, but Ben looks okay. Gwen looks about the same too. There's really not.
They're really never going to beat the original Gwen design, huh? There are two designs, which I think is prime Gwen. It's the OG design. It's the OG design that you see in Omniverse as well. And then the timeline where Gwen and Ben are not close at all. She has the ponytail, the polo, blue polo, right? Those are the best Gwen designs. MILF Gwen, Gwen 10K, also elite. I mean, I'll even take Alien Force and Ultimate Alien Gwen. She just kind of looks like a secretary. But Omniverse Gwen, bro, that is an actual dweeb. It is what it is.
Too much to say. They're going for a lot more realistic and detailed artwork.
Yeah, this is a classic. This is nice, right? Like, this is the OG. This is like, what do you think? I just, the glasses, the bob cut, the fucking, the freckles, something about this design, they butchered it.
Whereas with all 5 of the original Ben 10 shows, it was very
The reboot Gwen looks cute. No strong feelings one way or the other. I just think that they fucked up Ben's hair. He just doesn't even look like Ben.
Cartoon and stylized. This one seems like it wants to be more a traditional American comic book. Realistic faces, realistic
The proportions here are fucked though.
proportions. A little bit more gradient.
It's a big ass forehead though. 4 arms? You got 4 head over here.
And painting and the shading, and just straight up cell shading. Ben actually looks kind of ginger now that I think about it, looking at him next to Gwen in this panel, which is a neat idea. It looks like they get in a fight and Ben storms off rather than him leaving because he's bored. And the last preview pic we get is this big shot of some guy monitoring the sky. So I'm wondering how much they might integrate other people's reactions to the Omnitrix arriving, which when you think about it actually kind of makes sense. Something was going to be spaceborne coming down to Earth. The government's definitely going to detect that. In fact, it's kind of baffling that the Omnitrix fell from Earth in the first place in the original series and nobody really noticed. So maybe they're gonna bring in Sect more. Maybe they'll
Lieutenant not Lieutenant Sir, that's from Pokemon. Fuck, what was his name? I didn't realize that was like a Steel. That's right, Steel. Sect though. I didn't even realize that like the organization had like this acronym here.
Bring in the government a little bit, play up the whole governments have to do with alien conspiracy things. I don't know, it's just one panel. And then lovingly we get this famous shot of Ben looking up the sky of the Omnitrix pod crashing down, which has been done in every single series. Now we get to
this is a classic, baby. And then the way it pivots. And who did it? Who made it pivot? No spoilers.
Add another one to the table. That's pretty much it. I mean, it's a look. It's nice. It looks like we're just getting the standard Ben finds the Omnitrix plotline again for this first issue, which is necessary. I think the designs are okay. I'm not in love with them, but I don't hate them. The art style is definitely the highlight of it, but the designs I'm 50-50 on. And again, the variant covers look very neat, but I feel like I still don't actually know what any of the aliens are going to look like. But I guess we'll see when the first issue drops. Let me know what your thoughts are down below after you.
My thoughts is that the designs are absolutely stunning. I always love absolute versions of whatever, even if I don't read the comics, just designs, especially for stuff like children's cartoons and having a darker, more mature theme to it. It's really cool. And I think it's also a great way to package and market content, riding off the nostalgia and to give it to the audience that grew up with the series, right? So we had this video, not done yet though. Okay, they just released the real alien designs. Let's check this one out.
So a couple days ago, we finally got our first real preview of the Ben 10 Dynamite comic. We got some actual pages from the first issue to show us Ben, Max, and Gwen. And while we got a couple of variant covers, none of these alien designs are the official ones from the comic, so we didn't really know what they looked like. Well, it sounds like the interior artist for the issues, Robert Carey, heard our pleas and desires of what the official aliens look like, and has been dropping some official looks on his Instagram. Granted, these aren't colored, so there's still a little mystery left, but at least now we have a much better look at what they're going to look like when Ben transforms in the actual comic. First, I want to talk about Cannonbolt, as he was the most shocking to me in the last video, and the design I was most curious about, as on the variant covers he looked very different between the two. Now that we're looking at him, they're definitely leaning into that.
Oh my god. Interesting. Cannonball, they definitely, like, rather than making it more tubbier, they made him kind of have like a skin tight suit, but still, it's those eyes, bro. It's these eyes and the teeth. Something about looking at his face looks like one of those deep sea creature monsters.
Cosmic horror aspect, that term's been getting thrown around lately, and on its own, I think it fits that vibe very well. But
it does kind of look like he got a BBL because of how suction this shit is and how, you know, the hips over here. It's got little attachments. We got a Latina BBL Cannonbolt, baby. Let's go.
Similar to my issue with his Omniverse design, it's a lot harder to picture how he's gonna fold up and roll. It doesn't seem like the plates really line up in any specific pattern. Maybe he's gonna morph a bit into a roll and just curl up in a designated shell.
We'll figure it out.
It's very creepy. It's actually pretty fascinating, but yeah, it leaves me wondering how he's gonna be able to use his curling up power based on the shapes of these orbs. Next, we got Diamond Head, who generally looks like all of his previous versions.
Whoa, way more focus on the feet, way more granular, you know, more detail there, the structure on the feet. Damn.
Except with a lot more texture and less smooth
This design is crazy. Bro got diamonds coming out of his fucking nipples here. What were they thinking?
Surfaces because of all the detail, unless Robert Carey has all these rocks and positions memorized. It seems like this art style is going more for the idea of there's so much rock and detail on him that it might not look consistent between shots. That's something I'm always fascinated with very detailed heavy designs. How accurate are these details, or is it just as long as there's lines and rocks on him, it gives the impression that this is dynamite?
You got abs,
I do think
bro.
it's a bit odd.
This dude straight up got fucking abs and pecs as a diamond.
He doesn't have some concrete feet, but overall he looks fine. Now gray matter I'm pretty fascinated with.
Okay.
I love the awkward proportions in like the neck and the tiny feet and the long
The long fingers, right? The proportions are very interesting. It feels very off-putting. He looks like he's wearing like a spacesuit, you know what I mean?
fingers. I think this is my favorite design so far. I'll always have a soft spot for that weird trapezoid head he has in the other series, but this works for me. I'm happy with it. Now Upgrade kind of falls into the same curiosity I have with
Upgrade is the least significant difference so far compared to everyone else, right? Everyone else, there seems to be a little bit more like structural design changes. Upgrade here just looks like Upgrade, except with just more lines and dots here and like a claw that kind of makes it more scarier, I guess.
Diamond head. All of these zigzags up and down his arms, are these just the ambiguous shapes?
The leg here is kind of interesting. Oh, who knows what's going on with the leg over here?
Of the zigzags and texture patterns, like when you compare his previous designs, all of the tech lines have purpose. They're very specific.
Yeah, like it looks identical in terms of the overall shape. It's just more lines over here.
Shapes, and they're always the same between shots and episodes. Whereas here, this seems a lot harder to keep consistent. Again, it's not impossible that they do, and
I want to see a malware in this version.
Haven't seen him in action yet, but just looking at him as is, it seems like it's more based on the idea of a texture technology pattern than designated line strokes. But the double jointed feet shape is pretty neat. Not something I would have expected for Upgrade,
right over here.
Of course, you have to change things up between iterations, and it does make them look a little bit creepier. That seems to be the general theme, make them look realistic and creepy, and I'm here for it. I don't want just the same thing all over again. Stinkfly, I feel like I'm the most disappointed with so far, just because
this Stinkfly does look like Stinkfly. I don't know. He's got long wings.
He just...
Maybe the original version's more disgusting than this one, man.
Does look like a bug and doesn't have any distinguishing alien features. When you look at his prime design,
like the eyes, they should have. The eyes are freaky. These eyes are very freaky. This here, he just looks like a regular bug.
Eye stalks were kind of his signature thing, and while he did look insect-like, he didn't look like any type of particular bug, even in the reboot, which, while his design was very controversial.
I like the wings too, of how it has like these holes, which is not practical for flying at all, but you know, it kind of adds in more darker nature, I guess. More like mature, scary looking compared to a regular bug.
It's still like this ambiguous bug type.
This is just big chill. Stinkfly and Reboot is just fucking big chill, bro.
Creature, whereas this just looks like a straight up drawing of a bug. It doesn't have that special wing shape, the eye stalks, or anything that really makes me be attracted to Stinkfly's design. It's a good drawing, and as a bug, it's a good design. But for Stinkfly, I feel like it strips away all of his unique personality. Accelerate, I'm on the fence about, because I really like how this thing looks, but based on everything I've seen so far, even on the variant covers, it's harder for me to make out the detail on him. I think the big wheels on him instead of the little balls is a neat change, and you can see he's got
kind of really emphasizes how he moves. I didn't even realize he was rolling around until a couple seasons of OG Ben 10, and I was like, wait a minute, he's not actually running, bro. He's fucking rolling around.
Little talons on him as well, and I like how long he looks, pushing even further into the dinosaur design.
Yeah, it looks like his head also kind of looks like a chainsaw.
And almost seems like the back of his helmet has some type of vertebrae spine shape to it with those ridges in it. I am wondering if that visor opens up like it does in the classic series. What his face might look like. But sure, yeah, this works. I'm digging it. Now, forearms I'm on the fence about. I don't know the logic of how the
that face looks mean.
Omnitrix assigned suits. So like the bootstraps, the holsters on his legs, and the scarf around his neck are cool, objective.
Really big focus on the, not the gauntlets, but like these gloves, huh? These big black gloves. He's like ready to throw hands.
But at least what we know on how the previous Omnitrixes work is a bit odd to give forearms these things. But new continuity, I can't hold it to the standards of anything that came prior. So on its own, I really like this. The face is very intimidating. Though I'm curious about the eyes. If the black is eyeballs and the orange is...
Forearms does look like Skuna in a way, huh?
Pupils.
Bro. Someone should make art I'm surprised there isn't art of Skuna in Forum's body as a vessel.
Or if the black is just another
Imagine Forum's using Domain Expansion, Malevolent Shrine. That'd go fucking hard.
part of his texture, and only the orange parts themselves are eyes, like the orange are the eyeballs, and then the black dots in the center are the pupils. I guess we'll have to see. And it looks like the stripe is a tattoo versus either being hair or part of the Omnitrix suit. And lastly, we have Heat Blast. I think the only thing I miss from him is the mouth. Other than that, I'm happy with him. The claws are a nice change up. He seems like a good way to deviate from the previous designs, but still keep what makes Heat Blast
He looks like he got armor on, right? He got shin guards and armor, and he ain't wearing no pants.
cool. His hourglass shape is sideways in the taller structure, but this seems to be just concept art or model art or whatever.
Okay,
I'm sure it'll be corrected in the real comic. As for Wildvine and Overflow, they haven't had their artwork released yet, but I just couldn't help but make this video as soon as I saw these. But just going off of the covers, Wildvine suffers the most.
Dude, Wildvine. This one right here. Go with the far right. The far left, he kind of geeking the fuck out. The middle is actually pretty cool. I like the realistic reflection on his face. But the far right, this is a Yu-Gi-Oh monster, bro. Give me that one.
My worries about Diamond Head and Upgrade is it seems like he's drawn with just this ambiguous idea of being a plant monster, and there's no real concrete details to latch onto. No familiar shapes, at least from what I can tell. But again, we're going off the variant covers, so that's not really a fair judgment. As for Overflow, again, variant covers, but I also just don't have a good look at him to begin with.
Yeah, I guess he's a fan favorite in Reboot. That's why they brought the Reboot guy into this, new Ben 10 series. He just, again, kind of looks like a train, like what Inktank said over here.
So I have the least to say about him. But overall, now that I've seen a pretty good look at most of the aliens, I'm a lot more satisfied, and I'm very excited with this new cosmic horror aspect of Ben 10. It'll take some
cosmic horror.
but that's inevitable. It's something you should be used to by now as a Ben 10 fan. And for those that don't like it, there's 5 versions of the show that came
The Reboot one got some aura right over here, though. I'm not gonna lie. I like the little eye, light flickering off the eyes over here. The more I look at Omniverse Ben, his chin is kind of fucked up, huh? Man, that Ultimate Alien Force is such a classic. And same with, obviously, the OG classic Ben 10.
But this is where we're at right now. This is Dynamite Ben 10. I think it said it's coming out May 6th, so it feels like it's just around the corner, but we still got some waiting to do.
So after the comic comes out, the adaptation for a cartoon will happen in 10 years? What's gonna happen with that?
I'll keep you all updated if there's any more previews, and until next time, keep it fizzy.
Thank you. Thank you.
So
Thank you, Mr. Inktank. That was a really cool summary to kind of wrap up the new information that came out. Not all the alien designs are out, but enough to kind of get you all hyped up. I think that the pipeline of people growing up, watching children's cartoons, and then they get older, and then they revamp your old nostalgia with like an absolute version, like this dark, gritty, mature, scary, cosmic horror, eldritch nightmare designs. It's a common thing that happens a lot, and I think that it really is a smart idea in terms of marketing and branding. There is an existing audience that grew up and is nostalgic, but obviously they're not kids anymore. So this is for them. And the Reboot is for a brand new audience that has, never really gotten into Ben 10, I guess. Here is Inktank's video, though. Please go check him out. Go sub and like this video. I'm sure you guys have already done so. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.